So many historic moments have played out before our eyes in major championships, and today, two of the top players in the holding a one-shot lead over Martin Keimer. It's the final round of the U.S. Open Championship at Chambers Bay.
You know, the final round of any golf tournament with a chance to win, especially a major championship, it's a huge buzz. You know, that's the only way I can describe it. It's the best feeling a golfer can have because you're in the mix and you're in with a chance to win one of the biggest tournaments in the world. It's an incredible feeling. It's something that you may only get to experience a handful of times in your life. So, you know, that atmosphere, you want to soak it in as much as you can and really enjoy it.
Rory McIlroy coming off a strong performance yesterday, now making his way to that first tee box and looking to add another major championship trophy to his already growing collection.
And Rich, there's no doubt both golfers will be nervous until they get that very first tee shot under their belt.
The first tee shot is probably the most difficult because you've been thinking about that shot since the night before. Once you get that first shot out of the way, you calm down, you're a little more settled, you're not quite as anxious or nervous, and you sort of get into the rhythm of the round. You want to get off to the best start possible, and obviously that starts with that first tee shot.
Well, here he is, Rory McIlroy, a past U.S. Open champion, about to tee off on what should be an historic day of golf alongside the beautiful Puget Sound. Frank looked like a nice balanced swing.
Well, the free-flowing action that we find synonymous with Rory McIlroy in display, even under the nervousness of an opening tee shot in the final round of a U.S. Open, and just blitzed it down the fairway.
That one carried a long way, stayed up in the sky forever. We knew it right away, picked up the tee, didn't even look at it. We can see it. It's perfect, right down the middle of the fairway. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
It should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Looks to be a good one, Frank.
Oh, nestles inside 15 feet, so a birdie chance coming up for Rory.
McIlroy rocketed onto the scene with that first major championship, Frank, at the age of 22.
Yeah, that was at Congressional. A lot was said because the golf course was soft, and we know he's a good player in a soft venue, but watching his game mature so quickly and his ability to accumulate victories at the highest level along the way, that's one of the things that really stands out with Rory.
Excellent start, Rory McIlroy. What a nice putt.
I think making putts early in a round is very important. It sets the tone for the day and it gives you some positive momentum early. You see the ball go into the hole and it gives you confidence. You face a downhill putt at a US Open with greens that are as tricky as that, it just makes it even more difficult. I feel like you always face important putts no matter when it is, but obviously they're that much more important when, you know, it's the final round of a major.
Now over to the second. McIlroy with a challenging downhill putt. And I know it's early, but this is the type of putt that can really generate some momentum for the rest of the day.
Well, this putt's only 12 feet, Rich, but it's downhill. And because of that, it's going to be very, very fast. You're almost going to putt this like it's only about 8 feet long. Allow the speed of the green to take it the extra distance.
Down on the bottom of the barrel. Good start for Rory McIlroy. Back-to-back birdies. After an impressive drive, Rory just 165 yards out, faced with this uphill approach shot.
It's going to play closer to about 175 yards, though, Rich, because of that uphill. So probably an extra club. But Rory, even though he grew up in Northern Ireland, where it's windy, is a naturally high ball hitter. No, it's a good strike. Good swing by McIlroy. No problem finding the putting surface.
Standing over his birdie putt. Bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Blemish on the scorecard. A bogey.
There's some times when there might be a wait on a tee box, or you've played your shot and you're waiting on your playing partners to hit their shots, and you just look around and you realize where you are, because you don't really you don't appreciate it that much whenever you're playing, and that's not what you're thinking about. You're thinking about trying to win a golf tournament and not really taking in the beauty of your surroundings.
Well, this is one of the most spectacular spots on the entire golf course here at Chambers Bay. The 9th, they call it Olympus, and what magnificent views as Rory McIlroy gets set to tee off here on this par 3.
And there's a great view, too, of how exposed this golf course is. So if the wind is whipping, this hole can play very treacherous. Won't play its full yardage, considerably downhill. Club accordingly for that, 1 or 2 clubs less. And green a little narrow when you get towards the back. So this shot really has to be respected.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green.
And he's taking the trouble out of play.
Not a great shot, but not bad. Locked in on the read and the speed. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Did the job right there. Now it is Martin Keimer all alone. Not unlike that tree out in the distance. They actually called that one Lone Fir here at 15. So McIlroy is the chaser.
And not only is he chasing, Rich, he has to get this up and down. Very difficult flop shot. This is a high-risk shot. Trying to get that ball up very quickly over the little pot bunker and then somehow get the ball to land soft on these very fast and very firm greens.
Solid play, heart of the green.
Rich, you get that feeling. If there's going to be a moment, I think that moment is now.
Trying to clean this up, make his par. Struggling a bit with the flat stick and a drop shot here at the 15th hole. Well, too bad. He gives one back.
Final few holes to play, especially of a major championship like the US Open. It's what you've worked so hard for. It's what you've put all those hours of practice in for, and this is your moment. This is your moment to see what you've got against the best players in the world and test yourself at the ultimate level. There's obviously a lot of pressure. You don't want to let an opportunity like this pass you by. You don't want to let it slip. So to stay really focused, really concentrated, try to take one shot at a time, try and put the result out of your mind, control what you can control. But saying that, it is difficult with so many things going on around you, whether it be the crowd or it could be the person that you're going up against. There's so many things that you can't control, but the things that you can control, that's what you have to concentrate on, and that's what you have to try and do to the best of your ability. And if you can do that, that's what gives you the best chance to try and win a huge tournament like the US Open.
Well, you couldn't ask for anything more. We're at the 17th. Tie atop the leaderboard. 2 former U.S. Open champions, 2 holes left to play. This hole
isn't going to be about power, Rich. It's going to be about precision. And so aptly, this 17th hole is named Derailed. Somebody just might be derailed on this very hole.
No fairway here. This one in that rough. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Well, that's what the great ones do. From the rough, they use their skill and their strength to get it out and get it close.
So McIlroy now just to clean up and stay even with Keimer. Well, for such a strong man, weak putt.
Now I'll have to make this just to avoid making Michael Dublé. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
It really is amazing. You play 71 holes and you get to this point. 1 left to play. We're all tied. Martin Keimer, Rory McIlroy. And Frank, what does Rory need to do off the tee?
He has to do what we've become accustomed to, and that's a great drive from Rory. There's 2 bunkers down the left side, plus a enormous amount of sand down the right side. Somehow, split the 2, find the fairway, and this green, this par 5 green, will be in reach.
Frank, the great thing about these major championships is the slow build-up to moments just like this, and then it gets really tense.
It's a dream scenario, Rich. You just dream that you're going to have the 2 best players in the game vying it out, coming down to the very last hole. That's exactly what we have right now. So far, they've provided great golf. It's going to take something even better than that right now to determine who's going to win.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. Can still birdie the closing hole.
McIlroy now trying to apply a little pressure to Martin Keimer. This is for birdie. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
So a tester from 4 feet. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
The door was open, but Martin Keimer slammed it shut. Keimer, the U.S. Open champion yet again. It came down to the final hole. Keimer really put on a show. This will forever be remembered as